Well, good evening, everyone. How are you? It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. Welcome to the show. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud and clear from an undisclosed location somewhere in the swamps of sunny Central Florida. And, well, we got out there Ptolemycus, Technobabble, Damien247. I hope this makes your week a little bit better. Rear Admiral 5, Shellback, Bo, Theoden Rex, Shellback, hands at 10 and 2. And again, I apologize for the late start. I forgot, hey, ding dong, you actually need some lights so people can see you when you're sitting on the corner like this. Is that a little dim? Ah, that's better. That's better. I look a little blown out there, but I'll live. You'll live. We'll all live. We're all alive, everyone. Isn't that wonderful? But anyway, do me a favor, and if you haven't already, if you're just tuning in for the first time and you've never done so before, it won't help to do it a second time. But if you've never done so before, if you would click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications, that would be super cool too. I would really appreciate that. Because that means that you get to stick around and have a whole lot of fun here on the show with us. And you find out when we do all the cool videos, when I'm doing the live streams like this, when the YouTube shorts appear, little interstitial videos that come on, all of our guest shots. And we had a good one last night. Tiara Nickel was here. How cool was that? She was a lot of fun. Yeah. So we talked to Tiffany, and we do live plays here. In case you didn't know that, we do actual plays of tabletop RPGs. We've got, I'd say, a pretty good game that goes on Tuesdays and Fridays, where we play some first edition AD&D on Tuesdays. Now, right now, Sci-Fi Fridays is a first edition AD&D game. How is it sci-fi? Well, we are playing Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, and that has been oodles of entertainment so far. We've had 2 near and 1 total party kill. How do I play Drelsna? Drelnza. I always say Drelsna. Drelnza. How do I play Drelnza? Is that like, how do I do it, or how does one do it? Because those are 2 very different questions. I just run her as the incredibly deadly foe that she is. If a party is powerful enough to turn her, she'll flee, but she will come back. She will come back immediately the minute that timer stops, unless her life's in danger. Now, what she'll generally speaking try to do, because her chaotic evil bastard sword is programmed, as it were, to kill lawful good clerics, she'll use her slippers and run around the sphere and try to get to any clerics that she can recognize and slay them. Then paladins, then magic users, and then she'll work on the fighters, as long as she's got the hit points to do it. Her attitude and her mindset is that she does not want to be a vampire. Her mother put her there under the lanthorn to try and cure her. Igwilv being evil does not mean that she doesn't love her daughter. And Igwilv put her there under the lanthorn, hoping that it would cure her. She wants a live daughter. She does not want a vampire lord or lady as just a pal. She could, if vampire she wanted, vampire she could get. But you have to play her just exceptionally ruthlessly. And if the party gets that lanthorn and or the Demonomicon, and they don't slay her, but they drive her off, make sure she pursues them to the ends of the earth. And if the party slays her, make sure that Eggwilv makes it her mission to make the party suffer for what they did. That's how you run Dronza. If you're doing a campaign, if you're doing a tournament, just, whatever, just however she dies. But if you're not new here, but you haven't been here in a while, this is not my new permanent setup. I am always over here. As you saw last night with the interview with Tiffany. But tonight, I'm going to be showing you guys something really cool. And it's on the PC that I've got going right now. And I don't want to... the program that I'm going to show you is not compiled and running yet. I'm going to be showing you it in a runtime environment. And so it's not like I can just put it on a thumb drive and plug it in that computer. I got a bunch of programming tools on this computer that lets it run. But before we get into that, I got to pay some bills. And speaking of computer programs, this show is brought to you by Crom, the Character Record Organization Manager. Guys, Crom is the last word in first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons character creation, curation, management, anything you need to do with your first edition AD&D characters from generation to retirement. Crom will handle it. It is a program for your PC or your Mac system or a Linux PC. It runs on Windows 8, 8.1, 10 or 11, 32 or 64-bit, Mac OS or Linux through Wine, and it is really a phenomenal tool. You can make a character to your taste in a couple of minutes. You can make a kind of a random character, but exactly what you want in about 30 seconds. You can just make a random character. Just give me what you got. I don't care. Just give 3 seconds. It's that good. You can save as text. You can save as HTML. You can load your characters back in. You can level them up. You can drain levels, buy equipment, get new weapons proficiencies when you level up and add them in. Magic users and illusionists, it will start you off with a spell book. If you do a quick character generation, boom, it will give you starting equipment for that character, just a basic equipment loadout. Does your dungeon master use psionics in their game? At least to have the option open? This will do that. What about bards? Do you want to run a classic first edition AD&D bard? The mechanisms are built into Crom to let you create bard characters. David McCauley, good to see you. So Crom is $25. It is available through PayPal. It's going right along. It's not really. It's right there. There's my email address. So let me get you into a copy of Crom. All right. Take those old yellowed character sheets, or yellow character sheets if you've got the goldenrod ones, and transplant them into Crom. Preserve those character sheets. Put the characters into Crom. It uses all 4 methods of character generation for first edition AD&D, but it also has a 5th method. It's no secret. It's nothing you've got to unlock or anything like that. It has a 5th method that lets you just manually input everything about the character. Then you can go into their inventory, manage their inventory. How many times has a DM said, I don't want to screw around with encumbrance. It's too big of a hassle. Crom will do it for you. Crom will track your characters' inventory weights, no problem. You as a player, you as a DM, you don't have to worry about it. You get everything you need right there. I recommend giving it a spin. It is a really, really good tool for your first edition AD&D game. And that's what brings us to tonight's show, I've got some stuff to show off to you guys. Now, a lot of you guys have tuned in and you've seen this before, but we've made a little bit of progress and I'm pretty happy about it. And it's to the point now where I kind of want to show you guys the new program, which is called Familiar. Unlike Crom, that's not a fancy acronym. It's just Familiar. We can take Familiar tonight, and in fact, I'm going to do that. And live on camera, I'm going to use Familiar to create a campaign area. You're going to see how fast. I'm not talking about like, oh, well, we need something for tonight. You know what? You can start your campaign with Familiar. Let me tell you a little bit about Familiar's background before I dive too much into it. With Crom, I automated so much of the Dungeon Master, or so much of the player's handbook. All of the heavy lifting is taken into Crom. Do stuff in 5 minutes. And I looked at the Dungeon Master's guide. It's up here. I looked at the Dungeon Master's guide and I said, what if I automated this? Because it sprang from all the times I've been running AD&D and I've been using the random dungeon encounter table. And you hit that point where you encounter a party and that party is all NPCs and you're expected to have them statted out, equipped, magic items, alignment, classes, levels, hit points, everything. If you're doing that at your table, there's no way 6 NPCs and all their henchmen, that just, you can either stop the game for half an hour, 45 minutes to create a bunch of NPCs for your party to meet, or you can hand wave it and simply say, whatever. And I don't like that. It's the same with, if you're playing a city game and the party says, let's go find a sage to identify this weapon or this magic item, whatever it is. And now suddenly you as the DM, you've got all those resources in the Dungeon Master's Guide for creating a sage and 0 time to do it. What about when your party says, we're leaving the city of Greyhawk, we are going over to, we're going to voyage across the land to Stoink, the city of thieves, right? What about all that travel time? Are you going to sit there? Okay, day 1. Okay, no encounters on day 1. Day 2. Okay, we got an encounter. Let me roll that. Okay, it was bandits. That's 30 to 300 bandits. I now got it. Crom automates all of that. Your party says 20 minutes into the session, we're going to travel from point A to point B overland. No problem. Just input your travel destination, your hex size, how you're traveling, what the terrain of the hexes is into Familiar. And Familiar will give your whole itinerary, any encounters you had of any size. What about fleshing out a hex? That goes back to the campaign. What about fleshing out a hex? Crom will do it. Crom will fill a hex with all 900 some 1 mile hexes, a 30-mile hex with all 900 some 1 mile hexes. And then check each one for possible encounters and then log it. And that includes treasure. That includes NPCs. Well, what happens when you get all those NPCs? What are their attitudes like? The NPC personality generation system. You can activate it and just build a personality for any of your NPCs. Did your party just finish like a multi-week slog through your mega dungeon? Do they have diseases? Do you know? Well, familiar, I'll check that for you. Gosh, what else do we have? Gem and joy evaluation, treasure generation by letter type. Make your own custom treasure tables. Monster encounter generation. Input your own custom monsters into the CSV. There's a program interface to do it. Don't panic when I say, first open Microsoft Excel or its equivalent. No. There's an easy monster creation system. What if you rolled up treasure and it had a map in it? Well, there's a whole subsection in the Dungeon Master's Guide treasure tables, or treasure section for what a treasure is. Familiar already does it. It is so complete. It is so all-encompassing of everything you could need at your table. We have a question from David McCauley. Can you input the terrain types the party will be traveling through and have familiar flesh out encounters specific to the terrain? Absolutely, and I'm going to show that off tonight. We're going to demo that as one of the many features tonight. Let me show you. Now, this is when I say this is the desktop. This is not what you will see when you're using the program. I'm still working on a user interface. I'm still thinking about what user interface I want for familiar, but I haven't settled on it. Honestly, I'm thinking about something very, very clean. I'm thinking about like a Xerox or an X Windows style manager for it. Something that is just clean, two-dimensional, flat, crisp, easy to read, POSIX compliant. But let's get into the program. Let me show you guys. And here we go. So here we are. This is just the console. So what can we do? Now, tonight I do want to build a mini campaign with you guys, everything from soup to nuts. So we've got treasure, magic item, encounters, NPCs, monster, travel, and tools. And of course, quit. We don't want to quit. So let's actually start. Let's see. Is it under travel? It's been a while since I've done a hex. No, it's not. That's we'll get into what you see there on the menu. Fear not. Is it under tools? Random wilderness terrain. Okay. So we're going to build out our 30-mile hex right now, and we're going to start this. So we're going to do random wilderness terrain. Generate exploration spaces, or generate a 30-mile hex draft, 900 1-mile spaces. We're going to do that. We're going to generate a 30-mile hex. Starting / current terrain, let's make it nice and simple. Let's start in plains. Check each space for inhabitation. Yes. Outdoor table for monsters in deserted castles. Let's do uninhabited wilderness, default temperate subtropical. That just generated our hex. Now, everything we created will not be on the screen here. But don't worry, we're going to look at it later. Oh, we got quite the organization here. We have a brigand, a 51-man brigand group. Yeah. Look at this. We have brigands, and they inhabit a large fortress complex. The party is not detected when they pass. They may walk by or investigate. And that's in space 790, by the way. Why is that important? Well, we'll see that soon enough. And then we have another fortress. Space 737, a fortress encounter. And we just scrolled past everyone in there. The Stronghold Master is a 14th level chaotic good magic user. Look at all of his spells. It prepared all of his spells. What are the percentage chance of those brigands having Berserker? I don't remember off the top of my head, but I do know that Familiar will take account of that. There's a fortress encounter in space 717. And on and on and on. Now, as you can see, we've run out of buffer space on the screen, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Save as. We're going to save this as example camp. Notes. This is the first hex. And we're done. So we just use a little nomenclature there. We just do /done. Hello, RPG Gen Exile. Good to see you. So we're going to go get that in just a little bit. Print this output. No, obviously not. And there we go. It was that easy. Widgets created a 900 1-mile hex map. So, what else to do for our campaign world? Let's generate a little bit of treasure, shall we? Let's go back to the main menu. Let's generate some treasures. Just some random stuff to have. Treasure generator. HSTQZA. Woo-wee, that's a lot. Look at all that. 131,000 gold in jewelry. Let's see. Did we get any maps? We actually didn't get any maps. Yes, I need to work on the formatting of my gemstones. Bear with me. 24,000 electrum, 64,000 in gemstones, 131,000 in jewelry, and a bunch of goodies like that. So save as a text file. Now, this is something that's really cool. And if you haven't seen this before, take your shoes off or else your socks are going to be blown right through them. Save as text file. It already exists. Overwrite or merge it with the existing. We're going to merge it with the existing. And we're going to make some notes here. This is a great treasure found in an abandoned tower or an abandoned ruin. See hex notes for where but it is magically guarded by the great mysterious mist golem. A nearby town drunkard has a rumor he will 20% chance tell of a possible hidden trance for a strong drink. Must spend 1d4 GP on fine drink. And yes, we want to save that output. Oh, I hit print this output. I did not mean to. There goes my printer. It's going to complain. We're not going to worry about it. Shellback Bo knows better than to wear socks around me. Well, what can I tell you? All right. But I did not mean to send that to the printer, but it certainly could have. And now it's all complaining. I'll have to kill that job later. Okay, so we've got a little bit of treasure. We've got a fully staffed hex. Let's go over to that ruin. Well, first I want to show you guys, let's see. My poor PC is so laggy. All right, let me do this. This PC. See. Actually, I don't need to be over here. I can just go in through documents. Let's do that. The first thing I want to show you guys is let's do this. Here is the hex that we generated. It is so laggy. It's so laggy, I got a system status message that said the British are coming. Hey-o! So every dot represents a hex of interest. There is something in there. Hamlet, population 2. You guys can't see me hovering. I promise it's over there. Let me see if share screen will show this. Hang on a second. Stop sharing. Share screen, entire screen, share. Let me see if this will actually work. There we go. Okay, so if you kind of squint, you can see when you hover over an interesting hex, one that has a dot on it, it will tell you what's there. Hex 72, scrub, single dwelling, population 7. 93, plain, village, population 634. Pond and plain. What about this? Plain, Thorpe, population 39. You guys see how awesome this is? I'm sorry. I don't like to toot my own horn that much, but do you see how freaking awesome this is? This is a single 30-mile hex. And this is an SVG file that this outputs. You can open this in any browser and get this functionality. Oh, there we go. Down in a desert hex, we have a small deserted tower with a griffin. We could just make that our dreaded tower that's got all the loot in it, or we could go someplace else. A single dwelling in the mountains, a hamlet in the hills, a totally deserted castle. That we could use that. We could use that totally deserted castle as our hex where all of our loot is. So let's make a note of that. That's 887. That is 887. So let's go over here. And let's share that again. Share screen. This is everything that we generated. We started with this hex, 30-mile hex. There's our terrain summary. There's our special features, our inhabited summary. 760 of them are uninhabited. 27 of them have castles. 27 of them have single dwellings. 20 have hamlets. 20 have ruins. There's a thorp, a village, a town, and 6 cities. And here are our notable spaces. And what one was it? 887. And here are all the castle fortress details. Every encounter. Guys, with just a few typed commands, I just created months of campaigning for you guys. In fact, does anybody out there want this? I will share this with the community. I will share this output with you guys tonight. You can have this. I don't mind at all. Here, it's a bunch of NPCs. I'll shoot you the map, the SVG file, and everything. You just let me know. I will share this with the world. But we scroll down, and here's our treasure. Are we past? No, here's our treasure. I will post it. I will post this everywhere. I will put a download link to all of this and the part that you're about to see in just a minute. But yeah, you can have this whole little campaign section that I've cooked up here tonight, because guys, this is a campaign world. I literally, thousands of villagers, cities. Yes, it will be posted to the Discord. I'll post it to the Discord. I'll post it to X. I'll post a link on Facebook. I'll post a link in the YouTube comments section. But now I want to show you the real jewel in the crown that I've been working on for Familiar, guys. So let's stop sharing. Okay. Let's do a quick save there. And oh, you stop it. Okay, so we've already decided, for the sake of our campaigns, that our dungeon map, or that our treasure is in a dungeon, right? Let's make that dungeon right now. Now understand, I just created weeks of work in an instant. Something we couldn't even have conceived of before. Familiar. But like I said, the game is not dungeon. The game is not hexes and dragons. It's not forests and dragons. It's Dungeons and Dragons. What's the good of all of this if we don't have a populated dungeon or a dungeon we can populate? We go to Appendix A. I want you guys to look at the prototype for the automated Appendix A. So I'm going to present this to you guys. And just remember, this is all beta. If it falls over, I apologize. And here we are. This is our map making software. You've seen this before, but now we can give it a, now what I'm working on, it's not wired in yet. It's not wired in. But when the map maker is built, you will be able to merge your map notes into the master text file that I just showed you guys. The notes we make here in the map maker will merge into that master file. One single file. Now, somebody was telling me, oh, but Bill, a text file can only be 2 gigabytes. I hardly think everything I showed you in that one was like 4 kilobytes. And that's 900 hexes. But let's go. Let's tackle this. So we're going to call this example camp mist dungeon. I don't know why I'm putting the dashes in there. Example camp mist dungeon. DM's notes. Where the loot is located. All right, so let's do our entry. It's a 2x2 room. Very simple, very easy. We plant it right there. Oh, we planted 2. You see that? You see that rolling features? It is keeping, you think I have a system problem, not a text file problem? It keeps track of features and where you put them. All right. So let's do a hallway going off of that. Passage. Rotation, 135 degrees. Let's put a secret door at the end of it. Where's my secret door? Oh, wait, do I not have... Oh, no, there it is. Secret door at 4418. Hyperlinks would be cool. Yeah, Yeah, it was a hidden door. I had to make my do my hidden door. Oh, but we gotta have some stairs down. Stairs down located at. So you come in here and there's already stairs down, but then there's this hallway that dead ends. But that secret room, that opens into a gallery, a hidden gallery. Now, if you go in the Dungeon Master's Guide and look under the random dungeon creator, there's this very item. There's this gallery. The dashed lines represent the banisters, for lack of a better term, that overlook into this room. The unwary might not notice that pit trap. Now let's see. Oh, let's put some more. Let's do. How about a door? Now, right now, we are in this is what I'm going to call freehand mode. Freehand mode, basically, it is what it says. And these maps that I'm creating here, or this map that I'm creating here, some pillars on either side down that hallway. Now we're actually going to cheat because I don't have bigger rooms in. Note the half snap so we can center rooms on hallways. So we can make strange sized rooms. But what was I saying? Oh, yes. So there'll be basically two versions of or two modes. The freehand mode just lets you draw stuff, for lack of a better term. Whoops, let's undo that. Guided is a little different. I know it's completely bizarre. It's completely off the hook, right? Guided mode is going to be a little bit different because what guided mode is going to do is it will start you with a central chamber in the middle of your page. And you'll note we're in a 22 by 17 layout. Ah, David McCauley, you've been reading ahead. Guided runs the random tables. You'll start, it will run the random table and it will attach. Let me get something big here. The 2x2 room. You see the 2x2 room is attached to our brush. It will go through the random tables and attach whatever it draws to your brush. And you'll place it. Oh, you're quite welcome. Yeah, I was the same. I was like, oh, cool, 20 by 20 room. I want to have a doorway coming right up from the south into it. And I had snapped a grid, and I'm like, what do? That was hair pulling. Figuring that out was hair pulling. But guided will pull things off of Appendix A and stick them onto your brush. And you will go. Now, here's the thing. Let's say you get up to this point. You've come this far in guided mode, and it's like, it's a huge cavern. In guided, you'll be able to come up and click reject. So you don't have the huge cavern. Or you can come down and you can say, okay, you know what? I want to go someplace else. I want to put that cavern someplace else and start moving out from there. And it will stay in guided mode. You'll still have a random dungeon map, but it will stay in guided mode. But it will be pulling stuff. Let's do... Now, one thing that this is not doing, I'm going to do an archway here because I like archways. I like them as much as I like secret doors. Let's put an archway there. Okay, archway leading into that room with a secret door. So let's do this. I don't have all the hall widths programmed in yet. So come on. There we go. Okay, so we got this 20-foot wide hallway. What if you mind the shape, but you want to save it for later? That's... I mean, if you've rejected it, because all the shapes are available as primitives, so it's not like you're completely boned. So let's but if you note the secret door that we had in the middle there, oh no, it's orphaned. We can just come up here and grab some wall. We can just come grab. Yes, I did a blank wall as an option, and with a half snap, we add it, and we add it, and there we go. There's our wall, fully supported. Now, there's been a bit of a hydrological event, a significant hydrological event here. And so we have running across, we have a river. Well, in this case, it's a stream, technically. We have a stream running across the room. How deep is it? Don't know. Yeah, I don't really have movable pieces. It's kind of fixed once you stamp it down. So, I mean, if there is enough of a hue and cry for it, I could see myself doing that. But the water damage gets worse. The water damage gets worse. Let's go ahead and put a door in here. And we'll have a little bit of, let's see. We're going to do a 90-degree turn here manually, but eventually these will be programmed in. So I'm going to do eraser, and then we're just going to get rid of most of this. Get rid of that. And we'll come in, we'll do generate again. We'll just do a simple 90-degree turn. We'll stick some more. Now we have another hydrological incursion. Fortunately, the denizens of this place, oh dear. There we go. Fortunately, the denizens of this place built a bridge across this one. So there's a significant river, but it does have a usable bridge across it. So there's all of our features, guys. And you can come in. If you're labeling these, and I will have labels, an ability to come in and put labels. If you're labeling these, you can literally be listing things here, entry room goes down to control layer. Same. Secret door room opens into sadistic theater watched over by There we go. So now we export journal, and all of our text is exported, and we can export our map as SVG. Export as SVG. We have our map. We have our notes. Do you guys want to see the map and notes now? Can you number the rooms on the map? That's going to be a feature. That's going to be a feature. You basically, it will be a stamp that you can put down on a room, or if you're in guided mode will simply number the rooms as they happen. Jack Photon, I don't know if you caught this in the fast replay. I am basically everything I created tonight, I'm going to share with you guys. You need an SVG ASAP, PDQ, or FooBar, and I'll have to go Bohica. But that's only if you if things with the CMFIC are completely snafu. So there you go. There's the dungeon mapper. I've created in 1 hour, and that's because like the first 20 minutes I talked to you guys, and I've been umming and ahhing and alt tabbing and stuff like that. Let me do stop sharing. Where is my mouse pointer? The mouse pointer is mirrored in so many places. If I had not paused to talk to you guys, if I had just gone radio silent and made stuff, I could have created an entire campaign in how many minutes do you think? Maybe 20? Guys, I don't want to overstate how good Familiar is, but if you love you know what? No, not even first edition AD&D. I mean, ignore the monster generation, NPC personalities, sage abilities, the relative values of gems and jewelry, the map generation, the terrain generation. If you're a game master of any kind of fantasy game, this program, it's going to change the way you game. Months and hours that stretch into days, that stretch into weeks, that stretch into months, compressed down into a lazy Sunday afternoon, building your entire world. Why did I just go incredibly blurry? What are my settings? Sorry, stupid camera. There we go. All the stuff that you thought you needed, 10, 15 hours. There's this stupid meme about zero prep. What if your zero prep is an incredible amount of prep? I think the people who are addicted to zero prep are simply bad at time management. Lol, just use the random tables. Nobody does that much prep. Or more sincerely, I don't have time, Bill. Guys, let me tell you what, I'm 56. I'll be 57 in a few months. I understand about running out of time. Trust me. I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror and I wonder where the 33-year-old went. The guy that was in a demo that mattered to marketers. This is a campaign on a hard drive, and you can make a new one every week. Familiar will be $65. If you pre-order it, it is $50. And just like now, one thing I'm going to say, the mapper for the hexes and the dungeons works through the web browser. So I'm going to have to test it for Mac and Linux compatibility and make sure that when they go calling Iceweasel or whatever you're using on Linux, or is it still Safari on Mac? I don't know. Whatever browser you're using on Mac. Because that's kind of important. But there's no system you can't use this with, guys. There's absolutely no system you can't use this with. Let me show you guys. Let's see. Oh, that's not it. Almost closed out there. You wonder if I could gather up some alpha beta testers. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be people who will want to see if they can get it working on a Linux box and report back to me. Sure thing. Where is my hey, hang on a second, guys. I've got to find what folder this went in. See, this is when I said this stuff is all in dev state. Let's see. Browser field is not automatically set. What is it? Okay. Is it in Deluxe? There it is. Okay. Because it's browser based, of course. Now let me show you guys. This is all the stuff we just did. List. Come on, don't be like this. There it is. This is the dungeon we just made and all the notes for it. Or rather, this is all the notes for it. You'll test it using your proprietary unitasking system of testing. I'm terrified at what that might entail. But all that stuff we did is all logged right here, and here are my notes. Last SVG export, not exported this session. I think that's because we exported this first. But let me I got to make the joke, Shellback. If you're a Linux user, you'll get this. All right. Let's see. Let's see you open, my friend. There we go. Okay. I have a few things because that's not opening there yet. Okay. Now, this is what I mean when I said it's in beta, because some stuff is kind of broken. And I'm going to show you guys, I got to show you the bad as well as the good. Yes, the map was 22 by 17. If you had a giant hex pad, I went with 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 8.5, 22 by 17, and 17 by 22. Unrequested features, exactly. Okay, here's our map output, but it's a little borked. These symbols didn't come over properly. Our stairs, our secret door, our pit trap, our individual wall sections, are obviously there's our secret door again. And these two represent our rivers. So they didn't come along with the SVG. So I'll have to look into that. I'll have to see why that's happening. I think I'm just going to have to do like an includes folder that's got all the stuff, but that's our map. That's our map. So I just, with many pauses in the space of an hour and 15 minutes, with lots of pauses to talk to you guys and to tab and to explain things and so on, I created enough data for you to run a first edition AD&D campaign. Or if you want to ignore the stats and just go with the numbers, the number of men, their weapons, their locations in which hexes, so on and etc. I created a campaign for anything. I don't mean an encounter. I don't mean a few random encounters. You've got an entire hex to adventure in. I could open up that hex document, go back into familiar, and for each town, start creating personalities, NPC personalities. That's a little bit more work. That's maybe a few hours because there's a lot of towns and so on and etc. So the glue idea is still up to you. I created a campaign module. And what modules used to mean was you take this, you incorporate it in your game, you come up with the glue, you come up with the details that fit in the framework. You run a 5-year West March 5 nights a week with this. With just what I created tonight, you absolutely could. If you're into zero prep, but you want a little bit of prep, you want a little bit of framework, this will do it. If you're into a ton of prep, this does most of the hard stuff. This frees up your brain to be creative. But if you don't have time, this does it. Now, you guys tell me if that's worth $50 to $65. $50 if you pre-order it right now. $65 when it comes out. And yeah, I'm not at all. I'm not at all ashamed of what I've done here and what I'm going to continue to do. But eventually, what's going to happen is once I'm done Zork plays, this will be done when that mapper that I demonstrated. This will be done at that point, and I would suspect a couple of weeks. The map output file is SVG. Now let me ask you this, DMs. Do you want the map? Do you want an option in the map? My wife got me this shirt, by the way. Do you want an option in the map to do an isometric projection? That dungeon map, any dungeon map, projected isometrically. If there's enough requests for it, I'll add the feature. I will gladly do that. Somebody, I think it was David McCauley, and I apologize if it wasn't, but somebody asked about encounters over a number of hexes. Wormhoot says, do it. You got the appropriate user icon for that. Do it. Yes, and rotation. I can't do rotation. The isometric output will be fixed, like there's a drop-down option, save an isometric. But yeah, I'm going to rotate around in it. That's a bridge too far, and I apologize. Anyway, why not as a Photoshop transform operation? Oh, I don't know anything about Photoshop. I'm just using SVG on suggestion. Let's see. Someone had asked about the possibility of, hey, can we, about hex travel. Have I ever seen you suck at Photoshop? That sounds delightfully early internet, something awful era. I would love to see it. You suck at Photoshop. I will check it out. Anyway, so somebody had asked about overland travel and hexes and so on. By the way, one thing I wanted to, if you're not aware of this, guys, one thing I absolutely positively want to impress upon you. I'm pressing down on you. One thing I want to impress on you is this is not a web app. Yes, it uses the browser for the interface to draw stuff, but it's all on your machine. There's like no server or anything like that. You're on a plane, you're on your way to Origins, you're on your way to GaryCon, to wherever, and you want to work on this? Yeah, no problem. You asked if you could set the terrain type and then have familiar generate the specific. Oh, when you're generating your 900 hexes, no, that level of filtration is not there. I thought you meant travel. I was mistaken. I thought you meant generate encounters. Now, you could kinda, sorta, let's see. The thing is, so what you would have to do is pull your map up, have it in front of you, have your terrain type. You're looking at the individual hexes, knowing that upper left is hex 1 and lower right is hex 900. Sorry, apologies to anyone's eardrums. Thank you. I'm going to check that out, Gonzalo. So what you could do is you could then go to travel. Oh, I need to share this with you guys. Share. Okay. So we get to this menu, we go to overland travel. Party size, we'll just say 10. Hex size in miles. You're looking at your SVG, that's 900 1-mile hexes. Hexes to traverse, let's say you've got 3 hexes of planes. Travel days to roll 1. And let's do a foot. Average burden, uninhabited wilderness. Well, you know what? There's enough stuff on that map that it's probably going to be inhabited or patrolled. 1, normal. 3. So there we go. Those hexes, no encounters. So it's 1 day's travel and there's no encounter in those 3 hexes. you could do that. That would be a way that you could randomly fill out your hex, and then you could save this. I'm not gonna save it, and we're not gonna print that. But that's how I would do it. It's still a little, it's a little bit unwieldy, but for everything else you're getting, and yeah, I mean, it's 900 hexes you kind of got to sift through, which is why I prefer just let the program handle it. And when you consider that overall a hex is traversable on horseback, an entire 30-mile hex in one day, I would just do 3 potential encounters in that hex, or whatever you deem that hex to be. I may fine tune the hex and have it so you can designate an entire hex as plain, an entire hex as mountain, an entire hex as, terrain type. So it's not all kind of like, well, here's a hex of desert, and here's a hex of swamp, and here's a hex of mountain, and here's a pond, and here's a pond. Jeffrey Melendez, good to see you. So that's probably what I would do. That might be something that I do, though, as far as features. So, and again, that's where we're at. It's my shirt, man. I'm the sexiest dungeon master alive. But I hope you guys are interested enough to want to purchase this. And yes, it's much more than Crom. It's more than twice the price of Crom. It is so much more than Crom. I mean, if you want to get right down to it, it's kind of got, it doesn't, like, under NPC generation, it's generating characters too. Rivers, mountain ranges, and coastlines. That's more of a big world map thing rather than individual random hexes. And I'll look into options like that. Right now, I'm cleaving as closely as humanly possible to the Dungeon Master's Guide, over there somewhere. Because like Crom, if I start skating into, ooh, let's do this custom thing, ooh, let's do that custom thing, Bob, that's fine. However you want to do it, brother. How long have I been working on this? Months. Months and months and months. A lot of Stack Exchange, a lot of asking questions, a lot of poking and prodding at codecs to make sure my text doesn't, my code doesn't fall over and catch fire, or when it does, it can tell me why. But yeah, it's months. And keeping up with Crom and keeping up with the channel, 3 YouTube shorts a day, live stream every night, making sure Crom nobody comes back and says, you're Crom is just outputting Kender now, Bill. What the hell happened? Install, generate something for animation. No, it's not. It's not that kind of program. So yeah, and I got to be honest with you guys. I've been running on empty lately, a lot. Honestly, before I remembered that I said I was going to demo this thing, and I'm damn glad that I did, because you guys seem pretty excited about this, and that excites me. That tells me that I need to get mad, like angry, and finish up the map maker and get everything singing and humming along. But yeah, I was literally like, you know what, the fans will understand. I'm just gonna rack and stack the stuff for tomorrow's shorts and get some shut eye tonight. I'm so tired. And I am tired. I am exhausted. And then I was like, oh wait. No. I've got the demo to do. So time enough for sleep in the grave. So yeah, I just I want to get it done. I want to get it out there, and I want to get people using it. Crom was a game enhancer. It is a game enhancer. This is a game changer. This will do all the stuff that you never had the time to do to detail out your campaign worlds. And it's not a passive tool. It's not something that you just sit and it's like, okay, today I'm going to use familiar. Yeah, but you actually have work and important things to do with your life, Shellback. Well, I'm glad you woke up, Die Don't Lie. This is an at the table application, guys. Remember, your party throws you a curve and says that they want to go on a 25 hex long journey. I'm not done yet, Fantasy. Don't push me off. Your party's in the dungeon. You're checking for random encounters. Familiar will be checking the random encounter tables for you in the dungeon. That's something we could have done. We could have made a random encounter check as we went through our dungeon and then made those fixed encounters. So it is a live application in that it's something, it's not like, well, this is good for planning, but what about when I'm at the table? This is going to sit at the table, on your MacBook, on your Windows laptop. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. It's like, well, we want to fight vampires, but we don't want to play, we don't want to play Ravenloft, Curse of Strahd, none of that. Give me 5 minutes. Got your dungeon, got the hex that it happens in, got your vampires, got terrorized village. Boom, done. I'm winding down in that I am feeling exceptionally tired right now. I've still got tomorrow's YouTube shorts. I gotta record all the voiceovers for those. How did those do today, by the way? How did those do today? Did you guys watch the YouTube shorts? Did you like them? Yeah, yeah. Analyticals say that you guys dug on the shorts, and that's awesome. Because they started out kind of slow. Yesterday, this is not on anybody. If my content's not good, it's simply not good. But like, yeah, yesterday when I got up, the first short was like, "Hey, this is similar to the numbers you usually get." Really? How similar? Well, you usually get 1,200 to 1,700, and you got 1,039 views on it. Oh, that's not similar at all. So, I mean, there's up days and there's down days, and it's down to YouTube and what YouTube wants to show people. It's not you guys, but the horrible, horrifying, terrible thing um was that um that when I hit 10,000 and took my foot on the gas, took my foot off the gas because I'm like, I'm at 10,000. I can coast now. I've got a modicum more visibility. The channel, and I said, "Oh crap! Okay, well, I guess I better come back and start doing stuff." YouTube basically said, "If you're going to ignore me, I'm going to ignore you." And to get back up to the views and subs and stuff that I've gotten to now was a month and change of work to get back up to the low end of where I was. And this isn't just about getting glazed by more people. Okay, that's not why I do the channel. I mean, if it was just about numbers, I'd switch to like React. I'd you know, well, guys, the Johnny Somali situation just got crazier. But first, a word from Gamer Sups. Try Dungeon Grape. You know, I would do shit like that. But the reality is, you know, because I don't do corpo stuff, or I go in and like, oh, let's talk about the new 5.5 D&D 24 booster packs and the Magic the Gathering crossover. Because I don't do that, I'm never going to have, Professor DM or Bob World Builder levels of of viewership. There is no kinetic energy self-sustaining. So I got to put the hours in. I got to put the time in. And I would love to have a team of people editing and researching stuff. I bust my brain every week to come up with stuff that I think is going to be interesting to talk about in YouTube Shorts. And it's just me. It's just me doing that stuff. So, and I know nobody's complaining. I know I am not like upset. This is not a rant. This is just kind of a state of how things are. But if I don't maintain the channel, I see you got excited when you saw it. Sorry. Clickbait. But if I don't if I don't do that, the channel sinks. And then you guys, my community, and David McCauley rightly points out, my community, you guys don't get notifications. YouTube will just be like, nah, this guy's fucked off. Just stop. Just not bother with that. You know, and when I get word back from you guys that, yeah, dude, I'm fully subscribed, the bell icon is white, I never see notice about your shorts. Or this short that you said only got 300 views all day, never saw a notification about it. Never saw it in my feed, didn't see it pop up. And that's what happens when I take my hands off the controls. There's no autopilot. I wish there was. Speaking of guys that teach history, so this was the coolest thing. One of the videos I did today, one of the shorts I did, was about African mythos. And there was a dude, let me see, let me pull up. Hey, you're welcome, Bob. Thank you. Thank you very much. So back in early issues of Dragon magazine, there was a guy who put a whole bunch of articles in the Dragon. I don't know if he's got stuff in Strategic Review, but I know he's got stuff in the Dragon, where really good historical stuff. I think he did, hell, I don't know what he did, but his name's Jerome Arkenberg, and he did, I think he did the I know, well, we know he did the mythos for Africa, but I think he also did Australia. You know what? Let me see here. So let's look this up. Oh, first, our second hit for the gentleman. So let's see. 20, 27, 19, 12. Yeah, so, and I wanted a headshot. But there's a problem with that, Jeffrey. There's a problem with that. Arkenberg, Arkenberg, Arkenberg. But anyway, he sent in a bunch of myths that didn't get covered in Gods, Demigods, and Heroes, and then they didn't end up going into D&Ds and Demigods. And I was like, I would really like to have a headshot of this guy at the time to use in the thumbnail, because a lot of the videos lately, particularly with Dragon magazine, are they're in black and white, and it's fine print text, and that don't sell. People see that and are just like, you know, I could be giving out a cure for cancer, and if it's on a non-engaging photograph, people ain't gonna watch it. That's why I have those fire breaks in there, you know, with the little whoosh thing that goes on when you go to the next when it goes to the next image, to keep people's attention. So I wanted a picture of Professor Arkenberg. And I'm looking around and I'm looking around and I find this professor of history. I'm not going to dox him. I mean, he's got a public facing ID. You guys, please don't go harangue him about Dungeons and Dragons. I think I've done it. So I fire off an email this morning. I'm like, well, I'll tell you exactly what I said to him. I said, I apologize for what must seem like a very odd question, but years ago, did you contribute some historically themed articles to the D&D hobby through Dragon magazine? I was curious about a contributor who also had the name Jerome Markenberg, and I thought perhaps given your background, it was more than just a coincidence. Thank you for your time. Have a great week. And he responded, no, it was me. You know, not a big long email, not here's what I did. Just he said, no, it was him. But I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. Right? I mean, yeah, okay. We all know about Dave. We all know about Gary. We all know about, Errol Otis and Rob Kuntz and Darlene and Jim Ward. But you think about little, and if this was like, a half a page, like a 3-inch wide column, some ridiculous joke class from, you know, uh, you know, John Wilson of Schenectady, New York, and literally the only information about him on the internet is on Dragon Decks for that one article. Just kind of, well, that's it. That'd be one thing, but no, this guy, 5-6 issues of Dragon magazine, whole sections of myths for you to use in your campaign. I think that's pretty significant. I think that's pretty damn awesome. And so yeah, I think there's history of the game like that is just as important as, Gary did this, Larry Elmore painted that, Lorraine Williams said the other. Now, the problem with constantly mining Dragon for shorts material is a lot of you guys have got it. Now, a lot of people don't, right? I would wager most people who are paying a lot of attention to YouTube shorts enough to stop on my videos. Because when I get 3,000 views, 4,000 views, 8,000 views, 10,000 views on a YouTube short, and I've gotten a few that have gotten that big, that's not, that is you guys. That is very much you guys. But the majority of that, are just people scrolling by on YouTube. And then even if you break it down and like, yeah, but only 50% of people engaged with it, and your average watch time was only 60%, and we keep shaving it down, that's still more than just you guys who are getting that information. And yeah, if I can bring you guys that info, then I do it. I'll do it. So that's what I do. I very, very quickly ran out of stuff off the top of my head that I knew to be true, things that are in modules, things that are in OD&D, which is a little bit more obscure. And then there's the little history book that's wrong in a few places, by the way. The Silver Anniversary Collector's Edition. Now, I've dived into art and arcana for a lot of things. Like if you guys have noticed, I've talked about I've talked about like D&D art and so on. And so the interesting thing is, I will give John Peterson a nod for this. Isn't just like this guy painted this. This artist came to work at TSR then. Da 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 da. There is some TSR history in here, and I like it. The usefulness of this book for me ends about about that way over here on this side. That's about as much of it that really I'm going to talk about. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. But even that's a limited well, right? I mean, like, I didn't know that LGTSA member Bill Corey, his wife, did the Sexy Witch and the Sexy Amazon. And those were like literally some of the first illustrations ever for Dungeons and Dragons. But eventually you run out of those things and you have to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And you have to go further and further into the tombs, as it were, which is actually not a D&D reference. That's the New York Times archives in New York City back when it was literally like paper, and then even on the microfiche was called the Tombs, TOMBS. But I have to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into this stuff. Is there trivia about second edition, about third edition, about 3.5, about 4E, about 5E, about D&D 2024, essentials? Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't care about it. I don't care about it. My audience is here. Zork Plays. How do you pre-order Familiar? Drop me an email. It's scrolling by on the bottom of the screen where it says buy Crom via PayPal. That is my email address, bsylvie@gmail.com. Drop me an email there, and we will make the arrangement. And if you want a copy of Crom, I'll be more than happy to help you out with that too. But that's I use my email address as my PayPal, so I know that's really cool. And from footage I've seen, like if you go down into it, aptly named. By the way, okay, so here is, I hate to kind of do reach outs like this. Someone named Christopher Baptiste. Christopher, you reached out to me last night and asked about purchasing, well, actually it was this morning. You asked about purchasing a copy of Crom and a Familiar pre-sale. I responded to your email bounced. I did not see anything like in your email that said, oh, my email is actually this. But your iCloud.com email bounces back as the recipient's mailbox is full. They can't get any more mail. So, good night, great old ones. Thank you for hanging out. I would love to have your custom. I'm not responding to you. So clean out your inbox, please. I can't even mail you and tell you your email is full. So please, if you want a copy of Crom, if you want a copy, or if you want to pre-purchase Familiar and get $15 off the list, and guys, that $65 price may not stay. So you're getting it. You're probably getting a bigger discount. But you got to send me good contact deeds. I've had some people have purchased it via PayPal, and their PayPals are locked down, and they never said, "Oh, this is Joe at gmail.com." How do I get you updates? You might still be bopping around on Crom 1.5, and the difference between 1.5 and 1.9D are night and day. So, Christopher Baptiste, please send me an email. I will gladly sell you a copy of Crom. I will gladly sell you a pre-sale of Familiar. So, but now you guys, to talk about the positive here in the last little bit, because I do have to go and I do have to put up. I was going to mention shorts. In December, I am taking all of December off. The Dice Advent calendar is all I'm doing in December. All the shorts will be done and will be uploaded. I will not be sitting here every day in December uploading 3 shorts a day. I'm taking December the fuck off. Maybe I shouldn't use such a harsh word to talk about the celebration of the month, the Lord's birth, but I am drained. But what does that mean? That means, no, it's not. It is not Drone Swarm. It's not far off at all. All the YouTube shorts will be racked and stacked. They will go every day. Christmas night, myself and Mrs. the Dungeon Delver will be here Christmasing out with you guys. Jack asked about an Akira poster. You know what's funny is there's an Akira sticker right here. But what's funny is I have my Criterion Akira Laserdisc right here, which is subtitled Japanese and the streamline dub. Yeah, those are actually not on the door. That's a sticker on the back of the monitor. Do I have something I can poke it with? I don't. The longest thing I've got that can reach it would actually get me in trouble on YouTube, because it is a click, click, kapow. But yeah, it's literally just a sticker this big. It's not a big poster far away. I wish I had an Akira film poster. But no, I have the Laserdisc, and way up on top of the bookshelf that you guys see over my right shoulder, when I'm sitting there, you can see the All Might and the 2 arcade games. The Pac-Man is broken. I am very sad about that. But up here, just out of shot, there is a complete box of Akira collector's cards from back in the day. So in the store display box. They're not in package. I unwrapped them all. But those are gorgeous. Anyway, to jump back to the matter of December. In December, I will be. You guys will still get the YouTube shorts. You'll get a live stream. You'll get the daily Dice Advent calendars. Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop are your three favorites. Solid, very solid. If somebody said, "What are your three favorite animes?" I would probably go Akira, Gets, and Macross Plus. Love, I adore Macross Plus. Interesting thing. I initially was like repulsed by the new Gits that is on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. I could be wrong. Why not run Kuntz mods? I don't have any. Actually, that's a lie. That's a dirty, dirty lie. I have a DVD-ROM with them on there. No, not the live action Gits, which was better than it had any right to be. I actually liked the live action Gits. There, I said it. I liked it. No, there's a new version of Gits, and initially I was like, I don't like that. That doesn't look right. Somebody showed like a few stills from the cartoon compared to Shiro's manga work, which is in well, I have the Gits manga somewhere around here, but I also have Intron Depot, which I can't show you because his fan service pages are in like it's like, oh, there's Motoko with her gun kind of curled up in the fetal position, the one in profile, and then the page facing it is Motoko on vacation. You know the one I'm talking about. But no, the new one looks exactly like the manga. The Mamoru Oshii, which is fantastic, looks nothing like the manga. There's literally zero visual similarity between the two. So what you get in the new one is actually the authentic comic book experience. And I can appreciate it for that. And by all accounts, story-wise, it also cleaves much closer. So I want to check it out. I definitely want to check it out. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for sticking in there tonight. Is it the new one in the Southwest? You said that I hadn't heard that. That may be a localization bullshit, but I'll look into it. Yeah, I mean, Oshi's is fantastic. If you had asked me, or if the topic had been top 4 manga, you know what I would have said was my fourth? Patlabor, the movie 2. The second Patlabor film is a Tom Clancy novel with mecha in it for like 5 seconds. I love it. I absolutely love it. Do recommend it. It is a thoughtful potboiler. Don't go in expecting giant robot fights. You'll be disappointed. And the soundtrack is just out of this world, as is the Yoko Kanno soundtrack for Gits. Hey, Advanced Fantasy Games. I actually have the Appleseed OVA on VHS around here somewhere. I just haven't watched it in almost 30 years. But anyway, yeah, guys, I appreciate all the love you're showing me for Familiar. If you want to purchase it again, thank you, Advanced Fantasy Games. I appreciate that. If you want to purchase it, shoot me an email, bsylvie@gmail.com. That is the pre-purchase price of $50. When it goes live, that goes away. So get in there and get yourself something that is going to revolutionize classic TTRPGs. And I bet you those people playing Shadow Dark and other stuff, I bet you that you could use it for that too. So, AFG Kickstart win. I mean, I'm not going to kickstart it, and I get it, and I'm going to sell it like I do Crom. You pay for it, and I send you a download link. Or I don't know, maybe I'll kickstart it just to get a crap ton of money. Oh gosh, I hope the next preview is basically showing you guys the completed mapper. He's the DJ, I'm the mapper. And with that said, dudes, I gotta, like I said, I gotta get tomorrow's shorts locked in. Every day I tell myself, I'm going to crush it today, and I'm going to get all the shorts for the next day and the day after that and the day after that, so I can just, the rest of the week, not worry about it. And I don't. Damn my production staff. All right, folks, that about does it for me. You guys take care of yourselves. I love you all. I mean that. Thank you for those of you who did do a pre-order and who continue to do pre-orders. I hope you will all want to do that. The Owl Bear appreciates it. He's in Familiar so many times. You guys take care. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle, way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me